Well, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Raise Your Bars podcast. Al Rattan here with my good friend Chris Baker. Chris, how are you doing?
I'm doing good, Al. Doing good, thank you. It's like amazing to me that as we're recording this now, it's Thursday, the 14th of December. A week on Monday is Christmas Day.
I know.
That's crazy,
I
right?
know.
It's crazy. This year has just like flown by, and we've
Flown
we've done
by.
so much. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's
And I remember
it's
back, we started off with our membership group at the beginning of the year with
yeah,
the Raise Your Bars Personal Growth Solutions, and we did weekly meetings for, was it 8 weeks, just on really, or 12 weeks, just
12
really
weeks.
on
It was a
setting
12-week
setting
goal. Yeah,
12-week
yeah.
goal setting. Yeah, just
Hmm.
really setting the intention of the goals that we're going to achieve this year. And I'll be honest with y'all folks, I haven't achieved every goal that I set this year, but the nice thing is they're still on the radar and we're still working towards them, and we'll just readjust and move forward. And I'm excited about 2024. I know that there's all talks of, we have wars and rumors of wars and recessions and interest rates and layoffs and cutbacks. But you know what? I think that one of the things I've learned over the years, Chris, and I know we've talked about it this before, is just the looking for the opportunity in the midst of the adversity that's coming. And I'm pumped for 2024. I think there's great opportunity for any business that really
Hmm.
focuses on growing themselves and their teams for success in 2024. And we're going to talk a little bit about that tonight.
Yeah. No, agreed. I think when COVID came out, we did the turning adversity into advantage, right?
Exactly.
Um, and that was a great program from John Maxwell. But it really just opens your eyes. There are opportunities everywhere, and if you look for opportunities, you will see them, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you look for problems, you'll see those, right? So
Absolutely.
it's your
Absolutely.
choice. What do you want to look for? I would rather look for opportunities, and like you said, we haven't necessarily achieved everything we wanted to this year, but we're moving forward, right? And we're
Exactly.
moving towards it. And then again, we were taught by John, and then we teach others that um the fulfillment is not in the destination, it's in the journey. Right. And we're on a journey, and it's amazing, and it's good. And I'm looking forward to January, where we start working with a new company, and then in February where I come up to Toronto and we actually meet for the first time in
In
person, believe it
person.
or not.
I
That's
believe that. We've known each
after
other for 6
6 years.
years.
6 years.
Almost
Yeah.
6 years and about 3 months, because it was August
Yeah.
2017. Yeah, and Chris and I have become like brothers, honestly, like
Yeah.
brothers, and just the relationship we've built, and we've yet to meet in person. But that's this technology today. It's
Right.
incredible what you can
Right.
do. So,
Yeah.
hey, so Chris, we actually have an upcoming course starting in January that's open to the public in North America. Okay, we're going to say North America, but it's an 8-week course based on the teachings of John Maxwell in his book, The Leader's Greatest Return. And really, during that 8 weeks, we're going to be diving deep into that book and masterminding around the ideas and principles in that book. And I'll tell you something, folks, there's nothing more, there's very little more powerful of an experience that you can have than getting together with like-minded individuals that are
Mhm.
looking to grow themselves and their teams, their organizations, and masterminding and really just thinking into and diving deep into the principles that are taught, sharing the war stories and the battle
Mhm.
scars that we've had maybe in building our businesses and our teams, and really learning from the collective mind. And we're going to be doing that in January. And because it's Christmas, Chris and I are doing it's a low price, right? We would never normally do something for this inexpensive, but if you go to alruttan, alruttan.com/return, you can get all the details there. And we're charging $99 US. $99 US for this 8-week course. You're going to work with us for 8 weeks. You're going to get a copy of John Maxwell's book, The Leader's Greatest Return, in the mail directly from us. You're going to get a PDF of our workbook that we're going to go through over those 8 weeks. And then we're going to be online with you once a week to walk with you through this, to help you grow your teams and really set your company up for success in 2024.
Mhm.
So we hope that you'll join us, and we'll tell you a little bit about that again. But today we're just going to talk a little bit about the last chapter in the book, chapter 9, and the second last chapter, chapter 9,
Yeah.
reproducing leaders. And there's just one quote here I'm going to read, Chris, and we'll throw it back over to you. But John says this is the only thing. So listen to this. The only thing limiting the future of any organization is the number of good leaders it develops.
It's so true. It's so true. And that's why I love what I do, because I was talking with one of my team members the other day, and we were talking about work, and I say the thing that energizes me and gives me momentum to keep going forward is developing other people, and just sharing ideas and seeing the little light bulbs go off in their minds, right? As they start to realize that, hey, I can make a difference. And yeah, I may not be a leader at the moment, but I am a leader because, again, we say it all the time, right? If you influence other people, that means they follow you. And if someone's following you, then you have to be a leader, right? Whether you like it or not, you are a leader. So actually developing other leaders and really employing that multiplication effect, right? That we've talked about, where, we do one at a time, and then another one and another one, and let them do one, and then they can develop it. And it's level 4 on the 5 levels of leadership as well, right? The people development.
Yeah.
And then really our goal is to be the level 5, the pinnacle, where we're developing other people that are developing other people. Exactly. And that to me is the amazing thing, just to help people achieve and to be successful in whatever they want to do. Yeah. But we need good leadership, right? There's a lack of good leadership.
There is. And John talked a few years ago about being leadership sad, right? Just about the lack of quality leadership in our countries today, and lack of integrity and lack of values. And you and I do a lot of work with teaching people how to identify their values and then live towards those, right? We have a program called the Values Exercise that we do with companies. But I think that there's folks, I used to be a micromanager. I really was. Like I had to have, my nose in everything, and just making sure, micromanaging people. And that was unpleasant for me and for them. It stressed me out. Yeah. Right. And I'll tell you, the day that I discovered that I was a micromanager, because my team told me, I was humble enough to do a 360 assessment and send that assessment out to my team. And the constant message that came back was that, Al micromanages. But the day I came to, I knew I did it, but I didn't know I did it. Like, I don't know how else to describe it. Right. But that brought enlightenment to me when I read those results, and then, okay, I need to start reproducing other leaders. I need to start empowering my team. Yeah. And I can't tell you how liberating that was, to give me the freedom to take a step back and work on the bigger picture of the business versus in the day-to-day, looking at every little aspect of it. Yeah. But they'll take a step back and empowering the team and trusting them to make sure that those day-to-day things that I used to stick my nose into all the time were actually being done. Yeah. Right. And it's freeing to be able to do that. And your team actually feels like they're valuable and contributing that.
Yeah. Delegation is a skill. Right. And it's a strength. It's not a weakness, and it's something that can be learned, but it's something you have to be intentional about. Right. Right. But it's interesting as well, as we're talking and you're talking about empowerment and so on. One of my team the other day who's actually going to be joining the next emerging leaders class that I'm doing in February, asked me a question, and he asked me a question about what did he entitled it? Leadership, because he set time on my calendar, and I was like, well, let's just have a conversation about it. And we ended up having like a 20-minute conversation just to start off. But he called it leadership theory question. And what he was basically asking was, he's not got leader in his title, but he takes calls and he is basically relaying things to get solutions, right, for challenges. And he said, what's your sort of theory and thought on if I see something in a call that I'm taking, or something that's going on, and I think that it's not being done properly, and I think that there's ways that we can improve it. Should I pursue that, or should I listen to people that sort of would say, don't get involved and just stay in your lane? And it's an interesting question, right?
It is. It is.
Um, my response to him was, well, if you see something or hear something and it makes you go, hmm, I'm not sure that's right, right? Or
Mhm,
maybe there's a better way. My
mhm,
opinion is you should follow up on it.
mhm,
Right. And that is like, talk to people that are involved in it, just explain to them what you've seen,
mhm.
and that you think there may be a better way, and could we talk about it?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
And you will get, when you do that, you will get some people that go, no, it's okay. We've done
yeah,
that. We're happy
yeah.
with it. Like you've
That's
said,
fine.
with
Okay.
leadership, we don't need training, right? We're
Yeah,
good with it.
yeah, yeah.
And that's okay. All right. But
Yeah.
don't let it stop you. And
No,
when you do that, it's like sales, because you're going to get far more no's than you're going to get yeses.
absolutely.
But the 10, 15, 20% of yeses that you get are worth far more than the 80, 85% of no's.
Mhm.
Right? And that's what should drive you and motivate you to make a difference.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that, a lot of leaders need to be cautious of the fact when their people are bringing ideas to them, or suggesting things to them, that you aren't dismissing them
Right.
right away.
Right.
And if you are, like, take under advisement their ideas and their
Mhm.
suggestions. And if you don't implement, then take some time to explain why. Right? Because if you're not, you're going to shut down creativity in your organization. You're just going to have a bunch
Right.
of yes men acting like robots.
Yeah.
Right? So
Yeah,
yeah.
and really employ the yes and, right? So they may come with a
Mhm,
solution, and instead of saying, yeah, but that will never work because, right? Or but we won't get the buy-in or whatever. Use and then build on it, right? And then let them
mhm,
build on it. And I tell you, by empowering them to think things through and to be creative in their thinking, to be solution oriented in their thinking, will develop leaders.
mhm.
And these are the type of leaders that we want to develop, because what they're going to do is always look for continuous improvement, right? We're not going to have the mentality, if it ain't break, don't fix it,
Right.
right? Which I used to believe in,
Yeah,
but it's
yeah,
so wrong.
yeah,
It's so wrong.
absolutely.
Um, so how do you keep developing that, and how do you keep encouraging others to do that, um, so that they're ready, right? And it's, we've talked about it before. You don't want to wait until you're in a leadership position to act like a leader. You need to
Exactly.
do it now. You want to be the person you want to become. So be a leader now. Learn these leadership skills. Encourage your team to develop themselves as leaders. And then you're going to, it makes your life easier as well, right? And
Mm,
more rewarding. Um,
mhm.
but you should be developing leaders for another reason, that if you want to get on and develop, you need to have a succession plan of people to fill your position,
Exactly.
right?
And I think that's a big thing too, right? Is a lot of people are not considering the succession plan, and they're
Right.
afraid. Even some leaders are afraid because, let's face it, okay, folks, I'm going to call it like it is. You're probably a weak leader if you're afraid that the person you're
Mhm.
developing is going to be better than you, better in quotation marks, better than
Yeah.
you, right?
Yeah.
Um, you should be happy to have people that are better than you
Right.
on your team,
Yeah.
right? Um, and transitioning to another job, and someone new
Right.
coming in, that's happening for me right now. I'm hoping they're better than me,
Yeah.
because then they can take the organization from where I've built it to all new heights, right? And it'll be different, but I'm hoping they're better,
Yeah, it
you
should
know?
be, right?
Yeah,
It should be continuous improvement. And
exactly.
the truth is, if as a leader, if you are afraid that that person you're developing is better than you, they probably are,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah,
Otherwise, you wouldn't be afraid, right? So
exactly.
so,
Exactly.
but that's okay. It should be, and that's
It's
a sign of
interesting.
a good leader as well, that is developing other leaders that are better than them.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. And this is interesting because I don't think we're going to get to this other few points, but normal with us. But I'm just thinking into this, how many people have we talked to that, that are leaders that have never picked up a book,
Mhm.
that are, you know, never listened to a podcast, never done any additional training or development,
Yeah.
and they're kind of wrapped in that, they have their systems and their processes and they go through the motions day after day and do the exact same things over and over again,
Yeah.
and really not getting the different results that they're expecting to get because, they're living that
Yeah.
insanity loop.
Yeah. I'll be honest, that was me, Al. Right? Because well, I went into leadership in the late 90s, right? And it was like, okay, now you're a leader. Okay, get on. So you do it and you chasing targets, you go for it.
Yep.
Um, and it's that constant because I was in the sales environment as well, and
Mhm.
then general management. So it was on that treadmill of like reach the target, breathe, go again, right? So every 3 months, and
Right.
yeah, we would do mandatory sales training, right? That the manufacturers put out for us. But other than that, we didn't do anything else. I never
Yeah.
had any leadership training. I never read really, other than a couple of novels when I was on vacation. I never read any books until 2016 when I came across the Simon Sinek's Find Your Why, right? And that really
Right. Yeah.
ignited my journey. As you
Yeah.
know,
It did.
that's what
Yeah.
really started me finding a why and helping people identify their purpose. And then
Mhm.
when I joined the Maxwell team in 2017, in the next 2 years, I think I read like 50 something books, right?
Yes. Yeah.
And I'd probably read, well, and those 50 odd books, they weren't novels. They were all personal development,
Yep.
leadership,
Mhm.
what you would call self-help books, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Self-development. But until that, I'd never read any.
Yeah. Well, to my
So,
left over here, I've got 1, 2, 3 bookcases that are 6 feet tall, filled top to bottom with
right.
books. Have I read them all? No. But somebody's recommended them, or the title or topic has captured my attention, and
Yeah.
I've picked it up, and it'll be on the list at some point in time
Mhm.
to get through. And I've also started a bunch of these books, and it hasn't engaged me like I thought
Yeah.
it would. So I put it down, and maybe someday I will get it again. But it's it it just surprises me. So like I'm gonna, so in 2000, in 1999 or 2000, I'll tell you, I've always read, but I'm a science fiction nut, folks. I love
Yeah.
sci-fi. I really Star Trek, Battlestar Galactica, Star Wars, anything like, I love sci-fi. And I always read sci-fi books, novels, right? All the forever. And then in 1999, 2000, somewhere in there, maybe 2001, I joined a multi-level marketing company. And I always tell people, it's like, no, I didn't strike it rich there. And I'm a firm believer in multi-level marketing. I'm not building that business anymore. I'm a firm believer in it. I think it's great for a lot of people, and it gives people a vision and a dream and a passion to go out and do something. And I'm a firm believer in it. Don't contact me with your business opportunity, please. I am very content doing what I'm doing right now and building a successful business doing this. And I wish you all the best in your future endeavors. But at the same time, I'll tell you, they had a book of the month club.
Yeah.
They had a book of the month club, and we subscribed to it. And the leadership of the company picked a book that we would automatically get every month. And it was all personal growth, development, communication, sales. It was awesome, and many a John Maxwell book, and and I tell you, that's where I got my passion for personal growth and development. And then when the opportunity came along to join John's team, it was a no-brainer. I had prepared for like 15 years prior to joining the John Maxwell team with my personal growth and development journey, um, you know, through that multi-level marketing business.
Yeah.
I'm eternally grateful to a good friend of mine that introduced me to that, because did I get rich from it? No. Did I get rich from it? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, right? Not
Yeah.
monetarily, but my mindset, my
Yeah.
attitude, my personality, my passion for growth and development. And now when I talk to somebody and they say, "Nah, we're good. I don't need any training. I don't need any development. I don't want to read." my mind is blown. I just can't I can't comprehend that.
Yeah.
And I just look at them and I feel sorry for them.
Yes. But also that's one of the reasons why we're picky with who we work with, Al, as well, right? Because anybody that is with that, it's not our place or our responsibility to try and persuade anybody to take up personal growth. You should want to do it, right? Not feel that you have to do it. And once you identify that, and it's really 1, 2, 3% of the population, that's it. Right? Minute section, right? But it doesn't mean that we can't look and hope that we can increase that to 3, 4, or 5%, right? Or even up to 10% in time. But it doesn't mean that we're going to try and browbeat you into personal growth and development if you don't want to do it, because it won't work.
It won't work.
Yeah.
It won't work. No, and I've discovered that, right? We were doing it with a company, and you know, and I'm transparent here too. We were doing this company, and we had a great group. My team, the people that I was leading through that year-long curriculum, was amazing. We were engaged. There was great conversation. It was amazing. And when it was ending, I was sad, and I had built relationship with these people. So I offered something for free to them. Guess what? Half of them stopped coming.
Yeah.
And it was free.
Yeah.
But anyways, okay. We're going to wrap it up. So, folks, here's the thing. Reproducing Leaders is chapter 9 of The Leader's Greatest Return by John Maxwell. And yes, you can go and buy this book and you can read it yourself. But guess what? You'll read it. You won't do anything with it.
Well, I was just looking as well, Al. My copy of the book is $27.99.
Yeah.
$27.99. And for an extra $72, $71, you can work with us for 8 weeks and really get value out of it.
Exactly. So you're going to go to Alruttan, ALRUTTAN.com/return. Register. We'll get the book in the mail to you. We're going to email you the PDF document. And on January 8th, we're going to have our very first session. And you're going to work with Chris and I for 8 weeks. We're going to help you grow yourself so you can grow your team in 2024 and beyond. We hope to see you there. Join us. Yes. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. If you got some value from this podcast, please share it. Connect with us on social media. You can find us on Facebook, Raise Your Bars. Just search Raise Your Bars and we should pop up. All right. Take care, everyone.
Good. Bye.
Bye for now.